The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. The President has appointed a committee to look into the domestic gas accidents reported from various areas. 527 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19 today. The electricity supply disrupted to several areas has now been restored. The annual Sripada pilgrim season begins from the Uduap full moon Poya day. The government is to import 200,000 metric tons of rice from Myanmar to stabilize the prices in the local market. And on foreign news, the WHO warns of high infection risk from Omicron around the world. And on sports news, the Sri Lanka senior national squash team is in Malaysia to participate in the 20th Asian Squash Team Championships. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has appointed a committee to look into the domestic gas accidents reported from various areas of the country and to find solutions to the issues. Professor Shanta Valpala of the Moratua University is the chairman of the committee. The committee should hand over their report to the President within 2 weeks after studying various views expressed by all stakeholders. Solutions should be found for fires and explosions related to gas cylinders at homes and shops. Meanwhile, the University of Moratua has announced the experts' report related to LP gas leakages and will be handed over to the State Ministry of Consumer Protection within this week. Meanwhile, the Samagi Jana Balavege has made a complaint to the Consumer Affairs Authority about the incidents related to domestic gas cylinders. It has requested to conduct a test on composition and quality of gas. The party has also requested to remove substandard cylinders from the market. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed today 18 new coronavirus-related deaths for November 29th, increasing the death toll in the country due to the virus to 14,346. The new fatalities include 11 males and 7 females. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health has reported that 527 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19 today. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country to 563,794. At present, more than 9,000 patients infected with the virus are undergoing treatment across the island. The total recoveries have risen to 540,387. The electricity supply to several parts of the country, which had been disrupted last evening owing to breakdowns, has now been restored. Media spokesman of the Ministry of Power, Sulakshana Javadana, said the power supply to several areas was disrupted due to a breakdown in a transmission line. The cause is suspected to be a technical error in the 220 kilowatt transmission line from Kotmale to Birgama. He said that they are also looking into the matter of whether there is any act of sabotage. He added that 60 to 75% of the total demand is supplied from hydropower as at now. He noted that required maintenance work in the transmission line has commenced. The annual Sripada pilgrim season begins from the Uduap full moon Poya day for the 2021-2022 season. This year's Sripada season will commence on the 18th of next month. Most Venerable Bengamue Dhamma Dan Mahanayaka Thera, speaking at a function held at Nalathandya today, said that health guidelines will be strictly considered during the pilgrim season. Visitors can go there without any hassle if they take their COVID immunization card with them. A series of religious activities to mark the beginning of the season will be held at the Sri Pada Raja Mahaviharya temple prior to the Poya day. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Department of Government Information says that the Cabinet of Ministers has given its approval to import 200,000 metric tons of rice from Myanmar to stabilize the prices in the local market. The proposal was tabled by the Trade Minister Bandula Gunawardena. Relevant rice shipment will be brought in through the State Various Corporation Limited on the basis of a government-to-government agreement between Sri Lanka and Myanmar. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says the water supply to several areas in Colombo will be suspended for 7 hours from 10 p.m. today. The water supply will be suspended to Moragasmulla, Rajagiriya, Obesekarapura, Bandaranayakapura, Navala Koswata, the main road from Rajagiriya to Navala, Open University, and all connected by roads due to urgent repairs being carried out. The Water Board has requested the public to call the hotline 1939. That number once again, the hotline 1939 for further information. That came to you in Watchlight.
Select technical and vocational courses with proper guidance. Visit regional career guidance centers or visit nearest district divisional secretariat offices and meet career guidance practitioners or skills development officers. Be aware on unregistered institute which promote widely. Don't waste your valuable time and money. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News. The headlines first. The WHO warns of high infection risk from Omicron around the world. Channel migrants fast to propose a deal with UK. Quest begins to drill Antarctica's oldest ice. The World Health Organization WHO has warned that the Omicron coronavirus variant poses a high risk of infection surges around the globe. The variant could lead to severe consequences in some regions, the WHO said yesterday. The head of the organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, renewed a call for a global push to get vaccines to poorer nations. The variant was detected in South Africa earlier this month, with initial evidence suggesting it has a higher reinfection risk. South Africa has been praised for its prompt reporting of the variant. France is ready for talks with the UK over a deal to tackle the migrant crisis, the Interior Minister said. Gerald Darmanin said Prime Minister Jean Castex will write to Boris Johnson with proposals for a balanced agreement between the UK and the EU. The UK was excluded from talks on Sunday after Mr. Johnson angered French President Emmanuel Macron by posting a letter to him on Twitter. Mr. Darmanin told journalists Mr. Castex's letter would not be published. Efforts are about to get underway to drill a core of ice in Antarctica that contains a record of Earth's climate, stretching back 1.5 million years. A European team will set up its equipment at one of the highest locations on the white continent for an operation likely to take 4 years. The project aims to recover a near 3-kilometer-long cylinder of frozen material. Scientists hope this ice can help them explain why Earth's ice ages flipped in frequency in the deep past. Back to the world news headlines. The WHO warns of high infection risk from Omicron around the world. Channel migrants France to propose deal with UK. Quest begins to drill Antarctica's oldest ice. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
A cardiology complex with the necessary facilities for the Ratnapura General Hospital will be constructed. The relevant contract will be awarded to the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau on design, build and handover basis. The Ratnapura Teaching Hospital serves nearly 2 million people in the Sabaragamuwa province. The hospital already provides cardiac care services. However, various problems have arisen due to the inadequate physical facilities. That came to you in Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news. The Sri Lanka senior national squash team flew to Malaysia yesterday to participate in the 20th Asian Squash Team Championships. The tournament begins today and continues till the 4th of December in Kuala Lumpur. The Sri Lankan men's team will be represented by Ravindu Laksari, Shamil Wakil, Mes Malwood and Sharif Hakim, while Fatum Izzadeen, Iheni Kurupu, Chantima Senali and Devmini Gallage will represent the women's team. Pakistan cruised to an 8-wicket victory over Bangladesh on day 5 of the first test in Chittagong. Needing 202 to win, Pakistan resumed on 109 for no wickets but lost Abdullah Shafiq for 73 and his fellow opener Abid Ali for 91. However, Azhar Ali and captain Baba Azam finished unbeaten on 24 and 13 respectively as Pakistan won before lunch to lead the 2-test series. The win takes Pakistan to second in the current World Test Championships table, which runs until January 2023. That ends sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka stocks closed steady at a new all-time closing high yesterday, led by shares in the firms which have export businesses on speculation over possible rupee depreciation, but gains were limited by fear over new variants of the COVID-19 virus emerging around the world, brokers said. After President over the weekend said he will have to take a lot of unpopular decisions, investors expect there could be rupee depreciation, a Colombo-based stock broker said. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Sri Lanka is considering a proposal to export medical cannabis amid strong resistance to seeking International Monetary Fund IMF assistance in debt restructuring. Sisira Jakodi, State Minister of Indigenous Medicine Promotion, told Parliament today that Sri Lanka will introduce the legal framework necessary to export medical cannabis in the next 3 months. He said high-quality medical cannabis can be used to treat cancer, neuro diseases, mental disorders, as a painkiller and also in the beauty culture industry. But it was banned when we were under British rule, it said. That came to you in Economic News.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Finally, the weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central, Western, Northwestern and Uva provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in Sabaragamuwa and Central provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
And now to in this news broadcast, the main points once again. The President has appointed a committee to look into the domestic gas accidents reported from various areas. 527 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19 today. The electricity supply disrupted to several areas has now been restored. The annual Sripada pilgrim season begins from the Uduap full moon Poya day. The government is to import 200,000 metric tons of rice from Myanmar to stabilize the prices in the local market. And on foreign news, the WHO warns of high infection risk from Omicron around the world. And on sports news, the Sri Lanka senior national squash team is in Malaysia to participate in the 20th Asian Squash Team Championships. That ends this news broadcast.